Greetings, Tecmo Super Bowl fans. This is Trojan, coming to you with a special visitor today, my color commentator, ODT. How's it going today?
Man, it's fantastic. Excited to be here. This is the first dual commentary I've ever done, so hopefully I don't choke too bad here.
Well, it can't choke as bad as I did playing you today. We'll cover that in another video. So today we're covering Barletti versus Stenz, a group play game. Barletti is the Cincinnati Bengals. Stenz is the Kansas City Chiefs, and we're going to go ahead and kick this action off today. So, if you could fill me in here, obviously we have a pretty intriguing matchup. Who do you like in this one, as far as the matchup?
I don't know much about each of the players, but as far as the teams go head-to-head, if I were given this matchup, I'd say 9 out of 10 times I'd probably take the Chiefs. Just overall, I think the defense is a little bit better, having a few more options there with the Chiefs defense versus basically everything on Fulcher's back.
Okay. And I see here we have kind of a mixed playbook here. Okoye, obviously a weapon in this game. We see the run two there, not having a matching play in the formation against Fulcher. What are your thoughts on him? Fulcher kind of in a natural position to kind of contain that run.
It's kind of a wasted play, especially since there isn't even a pass play to hide it. Now, granted, you can outthink your playbook a little bit against the Bengals because most of the time your opponent's going to be Fulcher, so maybe you don't have to have a stealth playbook. But you gotta run at him to open up the pass. In Tecmo, you have to establish a run if you want to be able to pass with success.
Nice run there with Okoye down to the bottom there. Fulcher had an opportunity to maybe make contact there. Gets gobbled up by the blockers. Looks like we're going up to Thomas here, and Fulcher is in position. Another unused strength I often find with the Chiefs is the quarterback play.
Yeah, Chiefs gives you a little bit of everything. They can run, they can pass. Right now I'm assuming that Stephon Page is at wide receiver 2. Maybe there's strategy there, knowing that Fulcher's got to cover the rest of the field, that he can beat you deep. But throwing at Rob Thomas with, I think that might have been Boosie up there and Fulcher nearby is just dangerous. I don't like what I see early out of Kansas City here.
Stenz looks like able to work that run 2 to his advantage, but run 3 is called, and now we have a one-on-one opportunity here. And it looks like Fulcher just kind of got stuck in the mud there. He was right there about to make contact, not sure. You were telling me about that dead zone feature today. Definitely a lifesaver.
Yeah, dead zone, that's something that we could talk about for a long time. Definitely not.
Another video, huh?
That could have even been a little lag there to cause that. I never would have sold out on the dive in that position though. A lot of times the biggest plays, like, in our game, the biggest plays, ooh.
And Stenz turns the page. Pass 1 down to wide receiver 2. You were correct. Stephanie Page, touchdown Chiefs.
Stephon. Yeah, so that's what happened. I'm kidding. I think
because I thought he's like, it's like time to call, you could make any nickname you want for that guy.
Yeah, I like Stephanie. I don't know if I've heard that one before. We need to go with that. Book that. Put that in our glossary of terms.
I just Trojified it.
Yeah.
All right. Bengals with Woods on the return. Now, the Bengals have a pretty strong return game. That's one of their strengths. Can you explain why that is?
Well, on kick returns, not so much. That uses the speed of their right tackle, their OL5. I know Icky is prone to fumble on kick returns. He has some trouble even getting out of bounds. Now on the punt return, a lot of the newer players may not know, on the punt return, it isn't the speed of the player returning the punt, but actually uses the DB4, the strong safety, uses his max speed. So the best punter in the game punt returner in the game would be Icky Woods using David Fulcher's speed. Icky gives you a little hitting power. If you're going up against a weaker defense, you might get some popcorn. Of course, he only has 81 HP. 94 is really the magic number because there's a lot of 44 HP defenders out there, and you get the instant popcorn with a 50 HP difference. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but that when you're down to 81 like Icky Woods, there's not many players he could popcorn, assuming everyone's in average condition.
We had a great pass to throw all the way across the field from Esiason down to Tim Brown. Cuts it back inside the middle of the field there. What are your thoughts here when you kind of have a gain at that point? The pack's after you. I mean, do you fight for those 5 or 10 extra yards, or you just take the sideline and get what you get and get out of bounds?
So the community's crunched the numbers on that. We actually have somewhat of a precise number. Word on the street is if you think you can gain about 6 or 7 yards, it's worth maybe cutting back and trying to keep that in bounds and, taking that 5% chance at a fumble on average. And basically the way they came to that 6 or 7 yards is that's about, they took what the average drive was to get your 7 points, mix that in with, like a 50 ball control.
And James Brook takes running play 2 dive, pro set. DT gets caught up in the middle, and he's up for the touchdown. So DT might block this. He does just about every time get an animation. You got to have a fast thumb and an online leg can affect that, certainly. I've been screwed by that, and Lawrence Taylor, of all players. Yeah. But I just want to comment on that drive. Real balanced approach there by Barletti. So patient. It had that big chunk to Brown and did some good work there. So it looks like we have Stenz trying to get this run 3 going. With Fulcher's speed, it's very possible that he may be sitting on run 3 and say, you know what, I'm not dealing with this today.
Yeah, if it were me, I would call a good amount of run early to get him thinking pass and just try to cover with Fulcher best I can. He's definitely fast enough to cover most of the field. I mean, we saw that's just not a good throw there. We saw an early throw there deep to Stephanie Page. But what I'm seeing early out of these teams, I really like Cincinnati here. Those first 2 drives was more of a lucky JJ scenario for Kansas City and a methodical drive by the Bengals. I think you'll see that carry over throughout the rest of the game here.
Yeah, interesting thought. And the one thing with that I typically see here with Kansas City, great passing, but if you call the play, such a pile-on DeBerg that, or DeBorg, depending on who you ask, just has trouble maneuvering to get into those proper JJ lanes, and his speed is still pretty fast, so sometimes they don't always proc off like that. Nice run here by Brooks. Leg probably kicked in there. I don't think he meant to go out of bounds. Could have ran for that first down, 3rd and 7 coming here, pro set. And Dino Hackett, a little better coverage than Derek Thomas. And
I gotta say, don't like the Dino Hackett pick. He's 19 interceptions, and Esiason, with his 56 pass control, thrown to 56 reception receivers. Those aren't great numbers to try to even bat that ball down. I'd like to see him use Percy Snow more with the 31 interceptions.
Gotcha. So that was a correction. Thanks for pointing that out. Get my linebackers confused there.
Mm-hmm.
A good first down. We had that 4th down and 1 there, and I recently experienced a 4th down and 1. I don't want to tell the crowd how that went, but first down there looks like pass 3. Don't know if he cycled through the full receiver set, but he caught the wide receiver 1 down the sideline. Esiason sometimes can be a tricky quarterback. He's got decent pass control, but that delivery speed can be. It's not like Marino quality. It's not B.J. Tolliver quality, and it's not like Vinny Testaverde. Somewhere in the middle there, and it just sometimes you can't get the results you want from your receivers in those timed routes. And another great run here by James Brooks. Methodical juking, avoiding contact and getting into the end zone. And looks like a possession here has been stolen by Barletti as we go towards the beginning of the second half. This is going to be something that Stenz is going to have an uphill battle here, looks like.
For sure. I don't know if it was planned or not, but the time of possession there, they'll probably run pretty much this whole quarter out. We're going to the half 14-7, I'd say. Now, I would have kicked that ball to the middle to make sure he chews up more time running out of bounds. He's going to have a chance to get one out to Stephon here.
So, knowing what is this a situation where you rush in with, say, James Francis, and you let, maybe you call a shotgun play, or maybe I think the most damaged one is going to be, you got to take away pass one, right? I mean, that's the one where Stephanie's going to get down the field.
Yeah, I mean, pass one or pass two, he's got a 50-50 shot. See, there's no way the receivers are going to get there in time. He should just drop back here. His fastest receiver is short. And Roberts,
So, Stefan came short there with the pass three. So that's the danger in it. I like how Tecmo did this, or with their play design. They really have to make you kind of choose. You can't just have your guy in one spot all the time. And we have a fumble here, turnover. Stenz on the ropes and has an opportunity here to make it all go away.
We mentioned this earlier. We talked about Icky struggling to get out of bounds. That OL5 is very slow on the Bengals. I forget who he is. Oh, we had a little tap war there.
It looks like Okoye is winning, and that might be why we saw that dive attempt before with Fulcher. I think that could have been turned into a touchdown if he cuts that outside up top. Okoye is fast enough that blocker was engaged with the top defensive back. Popcorning, kicking in there. Interesting here. Do you think DeBerg is going to get into the action here?
Oh.
And with that defensive choice, I don't like Xander there. I know you're kind of in a weird spot, 1 yard away from pay dirt, but I don't think anyone trusts DeBerg to take it in, and there he goes with his 6 maximum speed.
That's kind of sneaky. The good thing about DeBerg, when you're saying him having trouble getting in the passing lanes, that's very true. And I think maybe the newer players, that might not resonate as much with them because they're working on different things. But that definitely carries over to when you start to improve your game. And one of the good things about DeBerg is when he's in bad, he doesn't get any slower.
Well, Stenzi's got to be just ecstatic right now. He's played a very, I'm going to say, really subpar performance here, and he's in a tie game with a guy that's been pretty efficient on offense. Called pass 4, which is something of a safe play on that end of the field, gives you an opportunity to get rid of the ball. A burn route opportunity here, perfectly executed to Brown. You got to cover wide receiver 2 in this game. If you don't, you're in a world of hurt. Hackett this time instead of DT. I don't think I like that decision either there. If you're trying to stop that play, you're even closer to the action and you have less tools to work with. And it doesn't look like there's been a whole lot of effort to stop DT by running at him in this game, because there's really no play set that way, which is fairly unusual. Normally you'll see DT run these plays down from behind. I know that Brooks is pretty fast, but you can still limit those runs. And it looks like he does have the tap advantage.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you want to stop the run, he could call run 2. And if he sees the 2-back set, go to Derek Thomas and come right in between the center and the guard and out-tap Barletti in the backfield. So
huge sack on that sequence. It looked like the potential touchdown was on the board. Wide receiver 2 streaking down all the way down the field, and just can't get the cycle around. And
I like
we have
the work from Boomer. Boomer looks good.
He's moving around that 19 maximum speed, definitely a scrambler.
Yeah, he can hurt you anyway.
And if you have DT there, that's a 4th down. And instead we have 1st down moving on here. Hackett does not have the speed. So I think Stenz will learn from this one. He'll go to the DT next time, and just if you see the opponent have a bunch of running plays going that direction, maybe you lean on a Percy Snow or maybe a safety in that situation. So pass 4 again, looks like Tim McGee, no danger of having that pass deflected. Pretty easy completion, gets out of bounds safely, no chance for a fumble. Just playing smart ball here. And I wonder if Barletti wishes he had the ball near the 50 right now, could milk a little more time off the clock.
Yeah, I would advise scoring as fast as possible here.
And he's actually playing the wind game a little bit. I don't think he can take more than maybe a minute and a half off here.
Right. My thinking with scoring as fast as he could is I haven't seen a full, sustained drive by Kansas City all game. So you score fast, maybe he gets lucky, chucks one up, ties the game back up, but that leaves you enough time. Oh!
And a huge sequence there. The angle that he took on that throw was not an advantageous one. It was just too sharp coming down there. If he stayed a little more level to the center, maybe slightly above it, I think he has himself a potential completion touchdown there. The defender there was a bit of a gap there, but it just came down too sharp, and there is the interception. And already, Stenz is now moving the ball. I think he's learned he's got the tap advantage, and he's trying to find these isolation opportunities against Fulcher.
Oh boy!
And we have ourselves a really nice run here into field goal territory. One of the advantages of the Chiefs is Mr. Nick Lowry.
Definitely. Another thing that a lot of newer guys wouldn't realize is Nick Lowry, he's 80. Oh.
Terrible. Too close. But he survived that. Go ahead, your thought there.
Lowry's 81 avoid kick block and 81 kick accuracy. Well, the Tecmo programmers goofed with the avoid kick block, and it actually is a dead attribute. And no matter what kicker you have, if you get the cut screen for the block, it's a 20% chance at blocking that, no matter who it is.
Well, this is like a chip shot here for Nick Lowry if you can get the arrow straight. So, chance to take the lead. Let's see if the leg has any factor here. Looks like it's probably going to be good here. Top hash mark. No doinkers. Nick Lowry is true. And, based on what we saw in the first half, would you ever have thought that we'd be looking at a 14-7 game here late in the fourth quarter?
I mean, I'm shocked. Looking at the plays that we've seen, it's just come down to that second half fumble and then that interception, which has kept Stenz in it.
Well, now Stenz going to have to play some good defense. And the one thing about CIN, the secondary isn't atrocious there for the Chiefs, and so there are if someone's covered, interception is certainly a possibility. If it's a defensive back, you aren't going to have a whole lot of options as far as going this way. And I'd be interested. He did not check the condition of. I apologize. The backup before CIN name's not coming to me right now.
Wilhelm.
Depending on his condition, the arc might be a little more advantageous here.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'd like to see, with time winding down here, I think James Brooks needs to go to wide receiver and Wilhelm needs to come in just for the mere fact of being able to get someone in scoring position, before time runs out.
It looks like we do have wide receiver 2. Can he get the ball away? Brown just over his head, and that was fourth down. And wow, an upset for sure. At this point, normally you just see a punt. This is a point differential league. One run here. Oh, he should have just gone in for the score. I don't know what Stenz's record, so it may be a moot point. He may not be close enough to move on to the bracket, but he survived. A win is a win in Tecmo. You get it any way you can. And congratulations, that tap advantage did come through for him, and he got the in field position, got the field goal, and made a defensive stand when it counted.
Yeah, good job, Stenz.
Wow. Well, hey, this was a lot of fun. I think we need to do more of these. Yeah. What do you think?
I think so. Yeah, I'm in.
Hey, if you guys like this, if you want to hear more from ODT and anyone else, you want to see these dual commentaries, let me know what you're thinking. I think ODT's got a lot of great information. It was a lot of fun having you here today. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, man. It's fun.
We'll catch you next time on GBLAN Online Tecmo.